Let's take a look at the BB&J website. This is the city website, the city of Brigantine Beach, the municipal site. Let's take a look at some of the things that you, as a small business, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who does business in Brigantine Beach. Of course, many of you do not live in Brigantine Beach or have a store in Brigantine Beach, but you service Brigantine Beach. What we're going to do right now is show you how to take advantage of all the different tools that are available to you so that homeowners can find out who you are and call you and hire you. We wanted to talk about the Brigantine Beach Business Directory. We are not big fans that a town or a city or a government runs any business or has any control over picking, winners and losers. In this case, the town business directory, many wondered why the city would get even involved in a business directory. That probably should have been the role of one of the local newspapers like the Brigantine Times, or at least the Brigantine Chamber of Commerce should have done this. But for some reason, the city decided to take on this role. So bbnj.com, the city website, was designed by Lieutenant Tim Reed, and he is currently the police chief. So Tim Reed has been promoted, and for the past at least a year or two, he's been doing the website, maintaining, building, and monitoring the city website. And as you can see right down here, and of course he is now the chief of police. For some reason, they decided to do a town business directory, and that seems to be odd. Chamber of Commerce should have picked up the ball with that one, or at the very least, the Brigantine Times. Some of the things that seem a little bit odd would be if you were to go, for example, let's say lawn care, let's say landscaping and sprinklers and stuff like that. So if you were to go into the categories, and right now there's at least 10 different companies that have landscaping business in Brigantine. I would say there's probably over 20, but there's certainly more than 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So landscaping and lawn, if we go into categories, and this is supposed to be a free website, everybody. And it's really odd that all of us, anybody that has any type of landscaping and lawn business in Brigantine, why you're not on here as well. So the first thing we see when we click on landscaping and lawn is the Brigantine Beach Chamber of Commerce. Unfortunately, what we see here is some keyword stuffing, putting every keyword they possibly can in order to game or fake the system of Google. This really just penalizes everybody. So this is a huge mistake. And all this does is clutters up the area, and it pushes people to the Chamber of Commerce. And then the very second listing here is Atlantic Prime Turf, and then it goes right back to the Brigantine Business Directory. Can you see where we're really not doing a good job of showing people interested in hiring a landscaper or somebody to cut their lawn in Brigantine? We're not doing a very good job of giving them a open and honest and comprehensive list of all the folks they could consider to call. So all we see here is Atlantic Prime Turf, and then we also see Duck Walk. So we only see 2 landscapers on this site. And so that's a real challenge. I know there's a couple of folks on the call that are landscapers and sprinkler guys. Quite frankly, the city should not be doing this page. It should be the Brigantine Times, maybe the Chamber of Commerce, or or somebody else. Okay, some might think it's just not a good idea to have the city involved with choosing who gets to be on this page, or the winners or losers, or how it's why somebody comes up top and why somebody in second place or third place, etc. Okay. If we go back to the business directory, go to the front page, and maybe take a look at a different category. We can see that roofing and siding, there's many roofing and siding folks that are, and right, once again, we see the Chamber of Commerce and the business directory taking the 2 top slots. That should not be the case. This should not be here. And then there's nothing. So we just clicked on roofing and siding, right? And we landed on this page, 2 featured businesses. And they're not really featured businesses. It's a link right back to the business directory, and then a link to the Brigantine Beach Chamber of Commerce, where the directory is not being hosted. So this is where the city truly needs to either take this seriously or just hand it off to somebody else to run. It's a great idea, We don't do it at Brigantine now because Google is is the king of directories. We do think that if they were to clean this page up, this site up, they should focus first on purely Brigantine businesses and any business that has a municipal mercantile license with the city of Brigantine. So if you're from Egg Harbor or from Cherry Hill or from Atlantic City, but you have a Brigantine mercantile license and you've paid for that, then you should be on this list. That's where most of the focus should be right now. So Jordal Agency, the Jordal Agency, we know there's plenty of insurance folks inside the city limits of Brigantine, but we're not quite sure why somebody from Cape May Courthouse is here and how they got here and why they are higher up than some local folks who could really use the business here. So if I go to categories and I look at insurance, let's see what happens here. Insurance. It says here that only 4 businesses are under the category of insurance in Brigantine. Unfortunately, the first one is Brigantine Business Directory. That just hogs up a spot. And then the very first one is Jordal Agency. The third one, Chamber of Commerce. And then the fourth one is a lawyer from Smithville. Okay? So I know that we have at least 2 people on the call today who have insurance-related businesses in Brigantine. And you are not on here. But there are 2 companies, and they are both not from Brigantine, and you're not on here, and I know that gets some of you angry. So, but we want to make sure that you are aware that all this stuff is available to you, and at no charge, and hopefully you have a mercantile license.